Hello, everyone. Chip Paul for Chip Talks Podcast. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about women's health and want to talk a little bit about endometriosis. One of the things that we want to really kind of get out there is women suffer in silence a lot, and women don't really talk a lot about their physical health problems. And endometriosis is a big one that women don't talk about because it kind of involves their lady parts, right? But let's break that stigma because we need to talk about this. And so many women really kind of suffer in silence with endometriosis. Endometriosis can become very, very bad, and it can, cause literally organs to fuse with each other and can cause all kinds of bad things. It's not quite classified as a cancer yet, but it has lots of, let's say, commonalities with cancer. It kind of looks a lot like cancer in how it hijacks you. What is it about? So this is, kind of the good news, I would say. And I'll say this a lot if you guys listen to my podcast, but God is a perfect engineer. And God built each of us perfect. And what I mean by that is every cell inside of you is always striving toward perfect health and perfect function. Always, always, always. Even if that cell becomes damaged, has a genetic mutation, something, it will just split, form a new self. And that guy will always strive toward perfect. So every cell inside of you is always striving toward perfect function. Again, if it doesn't, it just divides, and that one will. Always striving toward perfect health. So what does that mean? Well, that means systemically, all your organs are striving toward perfect health. You as a system are striving toward perfect health. So why do we decline? Why do we go backwards? Why do we get sick? Why are we unhealthy? Well, it's really because we don't understand how to operate our vehicle mainly. So we don't really understand how our bodies work. And, I say this all the time. No one ever gave me an operations manual for this thing that I drive around, right? Well, I can guarantee you this. I mean, God didn't design women to get endometriosis. And so if you have endometriosis, takes something. It takes an insult, takes an injury, takes a pathogen, takes an allergy, takes an infection, takes something. What's mainly afflicting most of us, again, because we don't have an operations manual, we don't know how to run this thing, this body that we're all driving around. So we don't understand about intermittent fasting. We don't understand about our immune system and really kind of how to protect ourselves. So and I've done lots of videos on that. We won't go into all that right now. So go look at the videos on intermittent fasting. But what we don't want to do is walk around all the time with our shields down, because if we do, and most of us do that just by our eating behavior now. So go watch those videos. But we don't want to do that. So if you're a female, and again, if you have endometriosis, one of the best things that you can do for yourself right off is to intermittent fast, because it will begin to give your body the strength that it needs to fight the disease. So if you're not intermittent fasting, there's a whole lot of these bugs that can get us and hijack us. And endometriosis is just a bacterial hijack. It's just another different kind of bacteria in a different kind of place that's being hijacked. But it causes irregular cell growth. It causes inflammation. It causes, the bacteria can cause an infection, and an infection, is as bad as a cancer, or can be as bad as a cancer in your body. So we don't want infections. We don't want continuous infections. We certainly don't want to be chronically inflamed, and most of us are because of our dang eating behavior, and we don't know how to work our shields. So what is this potential bacteria that causes endometriosis? So it turns out this is a relatively new study, so 2013, and it turns out this group of graduate students, they found a bacteria that is called right here, Fusiobacterium. Now it turns out that this guy is also associated with periodontal disease. He's associated with Alzheimer's, with beta amyloid protein buildup. So he's kind of a known guy. He's a known bad guy, but he's just a bacteria, right? So that's kind of a nice thing, is if he's a bacteria, well, then we can kill him, can't we? And we certainly can kill him we can kill him in a variety of different ways. So lots of ways, women, if you've got this going on, that you can begin to treat this. So let's talk about some of those ways. Well, first of all, polyphenols, just any polyphenol, anything with a phenol ring is going to be somewhat antibiotic. So it is going to, let's say, help you with bacteria and bacterial situations. All raw cannabinoids, so CBDA or a THCA or a CBCA. So all the raw cannabinoids, I know CBD and THC definitely have phenol rings. And so, that's why they have antibiotic properties. But anything with a phenol ring, so, grapeseed, gallicachin, from tea, any type of phenol will help. So lots of things to go to in nature there. Ginger will help. Garlic will help. The other thing that will help are like cinnamon. Cinnamon will help a lot. So there's lots of, let's say, direct application things that you can use. And again, those things are water soluble, so you can dissolve them in water. I'm not going to give you instructions on how to do that, but you can look it up, as to how much to use and things like that. But those would make a very effective treatment. They would also make a very effective treatment orally. We certainly have things in True Medics that will help. And in fact, our Energy Vitality product will help. Our Calm product, will help with endometriosis, and it's topical. Our women's sexual health product, believe it or not, will also help with endometriosis, and it is a direct topical. Now, if you're wondering if you have endometriosis or, if kind of what you've got going on is endometriosis, we do have a system. It's a non-medical system, but it's something called bioresonance. And bioresonance is very good at informationally. It basically finds pathogens in frequency, which is kind of cool. And so it can tell if that frequency is in your body, and that gives us information that likely would be the type of pathogen that you have. So if you're in Oklahoma, come see us. We're in Edmond, Oklahoma, and we offer bioresonance services. But it's a really good way to immediately get down to the bottom of what's going on. No pun intended there with endometriosis. So women, no need to suffer in silence anymore. There's lots of natural things that you can do to treat endometriosis, even if it's very severe. Again, if it's very severe and you're saying, no, Chip, I've tried everything, call us, because there's always, let's say, gradations of severity and gradations of ways that we can go at these things. So right now we're developing things that we feel like are drugs or drug worthy. We're not putting those out of the market yet, but we're putting out, let's say, natural product analogs of those. So we've got quite a bit of power in what we do here. So feel free to call us if you've got something going on, but don't suffer in silence anymore. You don't need to. And there's lots of solutions here, lots and lots of solutions. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow with more info. See you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.